Welcome back to MMAOddsBreaker. Of course, we got Bristol back on again. We were just talking. We were talking like just before the Clint Hester fight, which was like 2 years ago. And you're on a little bit of a losing streak. You know, you lost to Sousa, Hester, and then Andrea. And it's like, since then, you've been crushing it. Like I didn't even, things happen so quickly now in our sport. And like you were saying, you lose track of time. Like you don't even remember half the stuff. Do you remember of the 4-fight win streak? You remember the first fight that started that win streak?
Yeah, man, that was an important fight for me because I was coming off a big losing streak, you know, and I had good momentum and just lost it fought a couple tough fights and dropped a weight class and started another company and got real busy, had kids, so I had that first fight back out of the UFC was very important, and it was kind of that fight where I was like, I better win this or else. And I think a lot of fighters have been to that point where you think you don't want to think that way going into a fight. If you lose, you're going to quit.
So yeah, so it was really you got to win this fight or pretty much your fight career is over. Like you're going to be done at this point because now you're in a 4-fight losing streak. What's going to happen? And that's what happened with Williams. And he moved on, and Micah Miller and David Castillo and then Michael Hill, just like they're all wins. Like it's no fight is easy, right? Every fight, every training camp's a pain in the ass, but it seems like these fights are getting a little bit easier for you every time you fight. Is that what's happening inside the cage that I'm seeing on the couch?
Yeah, what's happening is that I reorganized my training and I got with Robert Follis is really the main thing, the big difference that happened in my training. And, our first fight together, it was you have to win this fight, and coming off a losing streak and you can't take another loss. It doesn't matter how good of a fighter you are. If you're coming off a 3-4 fight losing streak, you haven't won in a couple years, you got to win, so there was a lot of pressure on me, and it was, fighting on a small show, after the UFC. And, I guess it's funny. People always say, it's a common phrase, and this is like, makes sense to me now that I'm on a winning streak, doing well in my business and my life. You've heard people say it's lonely at the top.
Yeah.
That's not true. It's lonely at the bottom. And I felt lonely in that fight. I felt like I was all by myself. It was me and Robert Follis. And, is it my fault for putting myself in those positions after losing? Yeah. But you know what? Going to that fight at a small show, basically back home, kind of with my tail in between my legs saying, all right, I got to go back to square one. And, dude, that was hella lonely. I don't feel like I had support from my girlfriend at the time, now wife. I mean, I had to prove to everybody that they still should, believe in me. And so that was kind of an uphill battle. But after I tapped that guy out real quick, it was like, all right, we can do this. Follis is like, yeah, it's all in there. We just got to get it done. And then it was the next win, the next win, the next win. So now we're 4-0. Now we're back at a bigger show on TV for a title fight. So here I am, and it's lonely at the bottom. I don't ever want to be there again.
Let's talk about your companies. You said you started a new company and had kids and all this other stuff was going on as well. So you're obviously not just a full-time fighter. You have other things that you're doing as well. What are the other things that you're still doing? Yeah, man.
I fight on the side. To full-time fighter, I've never fought full-time. So I flip houses, me and Aubrey, my wife. Mm-hmm. We do 20 to 25 houses a year. So we're constantly flipping houses, and I do construction on the side too, remodels for clients. And also have a fight promotion that I run. I do 4 fights a year. And then we have 2 boys, 2 and 5. So that keeps you busy right there. Just, people with children know that that's just basically an added job. So, we're constantly busy. I work, 7 days a week. So, to fit fighting in is a stretch, but, it's something I want to do. I want to finish strong, and I want to go on a big, win streak and finish the way I want to, end it. I want my kids to look at me someday and be like, my dad, you know what? He didn't do everything for money. He did what he wanted to do with his life, and he went out the way he wanted to go out.
Now, you say you want to finish strong. Like, how much longer do you think you'll be in the sport?
You know, I want to go as far as I can go. I feel like at this point I have a chip on my shoulder. I don't feel like I've, fought to my ability. And so, I want to get like, maybe 5-6 more wins and then call it good and retire and ride off into the sunset, man. And continue with my businesses and continue making money because, so far money really hasn't been in MMA for me. I've made money doing real estate and other things. So, really this is, for love of the sport.
Yeah, yeah. So you're getting punched in the face, getting your arms ripped off, getting your legs kicked out from underneath you for the love of the game.
That's 100% true. This is for the love of the game, and this is for that competitive nature. I'm a man, and we want to see how far we can go with something, and we want to compete. Some people choose golf or softball or whatever they do. Mine just happened to be MMA. It's a little more difficult. But it's something I love to do and to push myself and see how far I can go. And I don't think I've gone as far as I can go yet, so that's why I'm still doing it. I want to go a little bit further.
So let's talk about Gilbert Smith. He's your opponent coming up. How far is this fight going to take you? And what's, title fight, main event for RFA 31. It's in Las Vegas. It's right downtown, so it makes it relatively easy. It's not like you have to travel far and move from the family. What's Gilbert bringing to the table, and how important is this win?
Yeah, this, if you talk to a fighter, they're going to tell you each win is the most important win they've ever had. And I think that's kind of how you have to approach it. Is each fight is something in itself. It's a different monument in your own life and in your career. And I think this is important for me to win this fight if I want to go bigger, if I want to go more nationally, recognized and actually make some decent money. I think I need to win this fight and not just win it, but I need to go out there and dominate if I want to go to the next level. Because, Robert and I sat down and had a talk, and he said, look, dude, we can just keep winning these regional shows. It's cool. We can go out and beat guys and all day long. We can rack up some wins. It's up to you. But if you want to go to the next level and be entertaining, we need to go out there and smash these guys. We need to finish. And so that, he said, you got nothing to lose. Fighting costs you money. So let's go out there and let it hang. Let's risk more. And that was a cool conversation. He said, you got to risk more to get more reward. And so it's important for me to go and finish Gilbert and do it, like just smash this dude. So all the other organizations see like, wow, this guy, like we got to sign him. So
when you say, you're waiting on these other organizations to sign you, obviously the bigger ones, obviously we're talking about Bellator and UFC.
Right.
If both come calling, both give you the same deal, both give you the same, contractual, situation,
Sure.
Where do you want to
go? That's a good question. I feel like in this MMA environment, everybody just throws out the name UFC right away. And that's fine. I mean, that's what people want to do. Honestly, I really don't care where I fight. To me, it's all the same. I want to get wins and I want to go big. And I can do that anywhere, I think. And for me, I don't care if I get a UFC championship. That's just not important to me. I want to go out. I want to win fights, and I want to get 5 or 6 wins in a row. And I don't really care where I do it. But I know that I've ran out of like the regional circuit. I can't do it anymore. I have to move up because nobody's going to fly me in to, fight their local fighter to beat them for their championships.
Yeah.
So I have to go big. I have to go bigger. And, if it's the UFC or Bellator, it really doesn't matter to me. They have tough fighters, and I think I can, make a mark in any organization.
Thanks, Bristol, so much for coming on here. I know you got a real busy day today. It's Sundays for most people are relaxing. For you, it's another scramble trying to lay somebody's floor in. So
yeah, exactly. I just was at somebody's house finishing up some construction. So for me at this point, I can't wait to fight Gilbert. I think he's a tough opponent. He's like a grinder. He's like a diesel motor. He's going to keep going. But I'm going to keep my distance. I'm going to work. I'm going to be faster than him, and he's not going to be able to take me down. So we're both ground guys. We're both grapplers. I'm going to stop his takedowns, and we're probably gonna trade on the feet and see what grappler has better hands.
I like it. I like how this thing's going to break out. Thanks so much, Mr. for coming on, buddy. We'll talk again soon.
All right, see you, bro.